Welcome back to the Play On Podcast with Jesse and Jerry, episode number 126. Season's finally back. We kind of low key forgot about it when we did our predictions, personally. Well, the La Liga games started, but Premier League started, everything else, we didn't do predictions, but we're back to doing our normal thing. Jesse, did you watch some games this weekend?
Yeah, I sort of felt because with the World Cup, I felt like sort of overwhelmed because there was like so many games going on and there was football every day, but then there was the lull of as soon as it ended of like, oh, there's nothing happening, and then you just got used to it and you're like, oh, I miss football, and now back again. I felt like there was so many games going on, so many leagues that I had to like try to watch, and so many games happening at the same time. Sort of overwhelming, but I watched the ones I was most interested in.
Yeah, I try to catch. If anything, I fully watched the Real Madrid game and the Barcelona game. Every other game I kind of had in the background or just caught up with the highlights because yeah, like it's a lot of games to watch. Mostly Premier League. I saw
Yeah,
Bundesliga. It was they had the Super Cup
yeah,
between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. God damn, I'm trying to fix my light. I'm just getting lit up. But yeah,
yeah.
I, I didn't watch any Serie A.
Serie A. I watched a bit of the Como game, and then I watched like the highlights of the Inter one, and I watched unfortunately my view like getting destroyed by Roma Gasperini. I did. Uh, I caught up on the PSG one. I was surprised because when you saw because the first half ended and they were down 2-0, and you would like, oh, maybe it was just like the reserve lineup. They're just like giving the players a rest for the beginning of the season. But no, it was a full strength lineup to begin with. Then they went down 2-0, and then it was Ferran Torres getting a brace to get them a draw.
Yeah, they had to rely on him, but I'm glad they're getting false confidence with him. That's how it started with us. And yeah, again, very surprised. But I mean, that's what they brought him on for. They brought him on for the league games. He did his thing, and I think he is going to succeed in the league. We'll see how much playing time he does get, like in the huge games like Champions Leagues. So, but
Well, I think he's part of like the second wave of like the attackers because the starting three is Desiree Due, Kvaratskhelia, and Dembele. But then I think they could just rotate those three with Akile Chue, Ferran Torres, and Mika Pots. And then I think it's not too big of a drop off because I think they're good young players that have potential.
yeah, again, not too much resistance for him, so that's why I think he'll succeed. I think this will probably be one of the first few seasons he does score 20 plus goals. So I'm glad for
I
him.
don't know. I don't know because we both know how streaky he is. Like I think he'll go on his good forms, but then he'll start missing shots like
But
it's
then again, look at the
unbelievable.
quality of the league. That's why I think he has more of an opportunity in the French league. I mean, we saw Mason Greenwood had fantastic seasons there. Um, he was pretty good in La
So
Liga.
he's going crazy in the Turkish league.
Yeah. Again, but I feel like no team wants to touch him because of his past.
Well, no Premier League team wants to touch him because he was linked to Atletico Madrid, but then I think the financial benefits of Turkey were just too much. They didn't want to pay the same wage as Turkey.
Yeah. But if anything, we'll start
But
off with our team.
but,
Go ahead.
but in Turkey they pay no taxes. The players pay no taxes.
At all?
Yeah, that's covered by the team.
That's interesting.
So what? So whatever salary they offer you, that's what you get, and the rest is the taxes that is supposed to be paid. The team covers it.
Yeah. Because I remember they used to be a big thing before the Saudi league became a thing, even the Chinese league. A lot of players were
And the
going to,
Russian league.
yeah, a lot of players were going to those Turkish teams. But
Yeah, exactly. Why? Because in the Premier League, whatever salary you get taxed half of it.
same thing in Spain. It's half of your salary, no matter what you earn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting. We'll get started right away with our teams. Jesse, I'll let you go first because you had the first match day.
Yeah, it was Real Madrid versus Espanyol, who they looked good because this was their second league game. They won 2-0, I believe. So they're decent. they looked pretty good, and then they were playing at home. For the first couple minutes, everything looked great according to plan. The team was rolling really well. Um, we got a goal, early goal from a set piece with Ardigula delivered to Jude Bellingham, which would be the story of the game. Though, like those two were our best players by far. Guler was having a magical night. You saw he had a tunel, he had what's his a sombrerito, but then I want to say that it sort of turned when Hausen had to leave the pitch for a minute because he got like scratched and unintentionally by the striker, and so he was bleeding, so he had to get out, and that's when like Espanyol took momentum of the game, and then they made it into a dogfight, and then from there came the tying goal by Kata, I believe, which was badly marked by Valverde and like Conante.
Yeah, they kind of let it the because who was it? Hoyson had his man. Carreras had pretty much if like the right back decided to go through, they had that covered, but it was just the midfielder that kind of let him go through. So Nick Konate, I don't know what he's doing. That's why I'm glad Real Madrid bought him. This is exactly what I wanted him for.
Yeah,
But
he wasn't bad. Besides that, he was decent, but like he like we both know he has his moments where he just loses of it. He's a player, but you know physically he's good at covering for his right back going up because he does have that physicality with him. But he was mostly leaving the passing decisions to Hausen. He would give him the ball and let him make his vertical passing. But yeah, I feel like most players had decent games except for Chinny. Uh, Bernardo Silva, I wasn't too impressed. I like the effort he puts in, but it's like lacking because he would dive into tackles and then just if the player would just like hold the ball or like fake it, just get completely passed by him. So that was lacking. Uh, I questioned Jose Mourinho's decision to take out Guler off because he was the best player on the pitch. He was creating everything. I think he had 7 chances created. Uh, yeah, it was Vinny again or Chinny. That's what his name is when he plays bad. Chinny was the worst player on the field. He completely lost his mind. He let Espanyol get to him, and yeah, he looked like he was barely back from his vacation. He wasn't running. He wasn't like pressuring. He was losing the
you
ball.
okay?
The only thing useful that he did was get fouls against him.
It's okay.
Um, yeah, I know people are blaming Kylian Mbappe. I think the only thing Kylian Mbappe was at fault for was not finishing his chances because he was creating chances. I
Yeah.
think if he had a France jersey on, he would have had like 3 goals.
My thing is, I have a couple criticisms. Same thing. I brought it when we did our predictions about Real Madrid. Right. I still feel like there's a disconnect between midfield and attack, and defense. Like you need that midfielder to do that. Same thing. Valverde tried to do it. Can't really do it. That's not his thing. What's it called? Bernardo Silva. Like you said, he did do it somewhat, but he's just kind of duct taping it so it happens. But what I did find interesting is that Vidi and Mbappe really didn't connect at all game. Like the chances Mbappe did get, it was like he kind of created those chances for himself. Where there was the one created by Guler, but yeah, there was like no connection between him and
Yeah,
Vinny. Chinny, my bad.
yeah, yeah. Chini didn't pass to him at all. Mbappe did pass to him, but like Chini would just stop the ball and like halt the momentum or halt the rhythm and just like try to take on his man and just like fail because I think he didn't have a successful dribble at all in the game.
Also,
Yeah,
what's it called? Mbappe was playing a lot on the right side too.
yeah. It was an interesting system that I think Jose Mourinho decided that he's completely scrapping trying to get the best out of Mbappe and Chini. He's he's focusing on allowing Jude to like get the best out of him because I think he realizes that Mbappe is going to get his no matter what. He's going to create chances for himself. But if you could bring out the best of Jude, because Jude during this game, not only was he playing well, but he was very vocal and like was basically taking the leadership position on that field, and he was dictating like he was arguing with everyone, trying to get them make sure they were doing the right thing. And I think he realized that he's putting it on him to like bring up the best of the team.
it's I don't know. I saw it differently. Like, yeah, Jude scored the first goal, but I didn't see too much of him afterwards. I just think Real Madrid has such an unbalanced squad because Guler, you have to give him the ball, and he has to have the ball to create chances. Same thing I think with similarly to Jude. I think he has to have the ball too because I think he doesn't get enough praise about his like how he combines with players. And even then, he's a very creative midfielder. We've seen it. I used to judge him about it, but no, he's gotten a lot better. But I don't know. I didn't see too much of him and see that impressed me. Other than the goal, like with the goal, he did a fantastic job. There's no complaining about that. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be a long, drawn out season for Real Madrid fans. How do you feel about it after the first game?
Uh, I don't want to like start freaking out after the first game. I think we know what the problems are. I think there is shown what he wants to do to fix it. I know a lot of people were complaining about some of the players, especially the new players, the new signings, saying that they're failures already. But I'm like, it's the first game. It's basically preseason.
No, you talk about
Uh,
Diamonde, dude. He didn't have a successful dribble. 140 million flop.
yeah, I think what it showed is that he plays better with Trent because with Dumfries, he basically plays like that touchline right wing role, and that's what Diamonde is like best at. Like you give him the touchline and then he'll take on his man. But because Dumfries was there, there was two people there, so he didn't really have the space to go for it. And with Trent, he's not that. But I think what the player that or the signing that people weren't excited about was like had the best moment with SB, and I think that's the profile that we were missing that I was saying that we really needed. And I think a lot of people are saying, oh, like with Gonzalo Garcia, but I think it's because Gonzalo Garcia was punished for his versatility because he could play on the wings, that he would sometimes be made up to like help up the role like for the wingers. But with Carlos Espi, he is a straight up number 9, so you can't put him any roles but there. So I think Gonzalo Garcia's versatility sort of hurt him there. But I think SB is going to be very clutch for us at the later stages, getting that goal.
I found it interesting that once he scored, like again, scored 90th minute goal, the winner potentially for your team, and everyone's reaction towards the goal was weird. They weren't running and rushing him to celebrate with him after the goal. It was just like everyone
They
kind of
were.
like, no, I'll pull up the clip, Jesse. But no, that's what I found slightly weird. Afterwards, yeah, like after he got it, like I'm glad for him because of course, like everyone's excited about the Diamonde. I feel that when he was kind of an afterthought. So it's kind of, in my opinion, it's an underdog kind of thing. No one expected much of him, and he got a winning goal, and it's pretty cool to see. But it sucks that, in my opinion, if you go back and look at it, like his teammates didn't have like the reaction I would have wanted if I were SB. You know, I feel like there's still tension, and maybe even the players they're just not happy with their own performance because they suffer a lot during that match.
Yeah, I think, like I said, during the first 15 minutes, it looked like it was complete whitewash. It looked like Madrid was just going to completely had going to score like 4 or 5, which could have been if like I said, Mbappe and a couple others finished their chances because they did have a couple chances. But yeah, I think they just made the game harder for themselves, and I
But
think that's like something to look forward to fix for, especially because it's a quick turnaround because on Wednesday they play again at
against
home.
Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, we'll go to the Barca game. As far as that one, Jesse, that one was great. I loved it. Very surprised. Again, they played Elche away. Normally, last season we were having a lot of trouble playing away matches, and especially like a lot of people were confused and interested to see how Barcelona was gonna play in regards to like not having 38% of their goals with Lewandowski out, Rashford out, and Ferran out. But they actually managed pretty well. Uh, Surprisingly, Gabi started. Xavi Sparta played left back. I mean, this guy just could play anywhere, I guess, because he played right back in all preseason. Then Flick decided to put him in the midfield. He did a great job, and now he decided to play him as a left back. So, and he did a great job too. But yeah, they managed well. A lot of great showings from the new signings like Adeyemi, Ben Gordon, Anthony Gordon coming off the bench. He was fantastic. And then
We
even
have to get a Ben Gordon jersey.
I know I might have to get at this point just so I have it engraved in my brain that it's Anthony. even Rafinha playing as a number 9, he did a great job. So maybe we don't need that striker, like I kind of said, but who knows what would happen? Because I even think what is it, Abdel Karemi, he's coming off the bench, so I think he could be a good rotational guy. But yeah, they play fantastic, and even with Lamine Yamal, that apparently he wants to leave the club. According to some Barca fans, they're overreacting because of how he was acting on the bench and how he got subbed off. Come on, guys, give it a break, dude. He just played the World Cup
Love it.
coming off an
I love
he
it.
just played the World
Nah,
Cup coming off an injury. And hasn't had a preseason. This is pretty much his second game of preseason. Without playing a
nah, I
full
love it.
90,
Nah, I
that
love
he
it. Barca fans, keep freaking out. Keep freaking out.
like they're overreacting, saying that he's gonna leave, that he's not happy, like he's ruined the mood. But it's like no, he's mad at himself. We've seen him do this before. That he has
Nah,
bad
nah, Jerry,
matches.
you're underreacting. It's obvious that he has to break up with his girlfriend. It's obvious that
They don't
he
want to see
lost
him
your
happy,
belief in.
dude.
Yeah, they lost out. Yeah, it's completely changed. He's not the same player as he used to be for after the World Cup. Yeah, it's all over.
Yeah, first match, dude. It's all over. Lamine Yamal's career's done. But
Oh man, it's
yeah,
hilarious.
just give it time. Because yeah, Barca managed to get 5 goals with Lamine Yamal that wasn't in good form, and yeah, we'll see what's to come. Very surprising things happen, like Alejandro Balde was left out of the squad.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of rumors coming out of that saying that he's been made available by Hansi Flick and he's going to Man U potentially.
Yeah, but Hansi Flick surprisingly today came out in a press conference saying that he never told Alejandro Balde that that they want him sold. He actually came out and said that he left him out of the squad because he had Alejandro Balde had personal issues, and he wanted him to take care of those personal issues, and he wanted him to be concentrated. So that's why he didn't take him. But today it's actually surprising that Eddie Garcia has been announced as the starting right back, and he's told Jules Koundé that he's not going to play right back anymore. He's going to play center back, and even then he's going to come off the bench. So a lot of movements. Apparently, if an offer comes for Jules Koundé, they'll entertain it and see if they accept it. So I think if he does get sold, we need a left-footed center back. I think that's a huge priority. Striker, apparently, they're still going all out for Julian Alvarez. It's either they get him or they just wait into the winter transfer window or maybe next transfer window see if they can get him. But as of now, they have the striker position on hold.
And then Gabi did pick up a knock. It looked more serious than it was, but apparently reports came out that it's not as serious as previously thought. So that's a good news for Barca because if he got injured out again, I think that at that point you just start considering you're taking your losses on him.
Yeah, just because he can't really suffer another ACL injury. How many is that? One or two? It'll be
It's
one because like they had to
but
reconstruct his knee again, right? Not reconstruct, but like
y-
redo the ACL surgery.
yeah, he had that one, but then the other one that we're thinking of, it wasn't a knee. I think it was like he had muscle problems, like a thigh or something. Because it wasn't his knee. It was like I think hamstring, right? He tore like his hamstring.
I think so. It was something like that, but yeah, thankfully, good news. It was just a knock, nothing crazy. But even then, like he wanted to come off. Well, not come off, but I think he was only designated to play 45 minutes. So he was gonna get subbed off either way. They just couldn't hold it till halftime because yeah, apparently the knock was just bothering him so much. And
Yeah, and I think he just being precautionary because he has been through a lot with his body, and at that point, it sort of jades you in the way that you're like, I have to take this seriously because if not, it could lead to another serious situation. Because that's how he got his previous ones because he just kept on like playing even though he was injured, and he's like, I'm gonna push through it. And it's like you got to learn that sometimes your body's telling you to stop.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, great showing for Barcelona. Everything was exciting. Thankfully, it's nice heavy matches to win 5-0 and not having to worry about it, especially away. And just, you could chill and relax. Because I was stressed according to my watching that game. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting La Liga season. They play on Thursday against Athletic Bilbao. I don't know if it's home or away. I didn't get to check. But they're playing at 2 p.m., unfortunately. I'll be at work. I'll probably take my break at 2.
What else did we have? Oh, the Jamal Musiala situation. Speaking of that we were talking about beforehand, it's crazy the news that's come out about it.
First, a Turkish reporter came out and reported it that Galatasaray were interested in. I think you brought it up in one of the podcasts. Then that he got arrested for false news.
Yeah, that he was, because he had reported that it was like the only club interested in him. Like no one else was interested in it. It was just like that Galatasaray was in talks with Bayern to buy Musiala, and everyone said that's not believable. And this guy was like for like false charge or like false, was it false news basically?
Yeah, like fake news.
And and then it's come out because recently he had like passed out or like fainted in two straight games, and people are like starting to get worried. And he had posted the reason why Galatasaray were like the only club that were like in talks with Bayern because they knew the secret. And apparently the secret was that um, Jamal Musiala was in a car crash and suffered a brain injury that has basically affected him for the rest of his life. Where now if he doesn't like control what he eats and the medication, and like it's a constantly changing thing, that he could have seizures at random moments. And like these episodes were related to that. And so now I think you said that he's like going back to his old meds.
Yeah, because he switched out medications on seeing if it could help out and like probably do something different, than the previous one he was taking. But clearly it wasn't helping, and there was like too many side effects to it. Hence, like the seizures or like just the dizziness or whatever he was having. He announced that he's going back to his old medication and hopefully it'll help out. Because yeah, last season he didn't well, not last season, but like we didn't see him have too much of a problem during the World Cup. I think that's when like he was taking like that medication or whatever, but he didn't have issues when it came to that. But yeah, that's the medication definitely did an effect and had side effects that he didn't like, and of course no one liked because everyone's kind of scared because you never know what was happening.
Yeah, especially when it happens twice in a row. Like you just like you once you could be like, oh, maybe it was just a random thing, like he got like a heat stroke or something like
Yeah,
that. But
that's
like
what people
twice
were
in a row,
correlating it to because they were playing like in extreme heat. It was like 32 degrees Celsius or something. That's like 90 or 100 degrees. So they probably thought it was that.
when it's twice in a row, 2 games in a row, that's no longer a coincidence. That's a pattern, and people are like starting to question why. And now it's just crazy to think that Jamal Musiala's life has made such a drastic change because beforehand he was the golden boy of Germany. He was like heralded as the next big thing, but now people are starting to look at him with different pair of eyes, with a different shade, because he's coming off that massive leg injury where he missed like 60% of the season for Bayern, and now he has this new medical precaution that you worry about with like that it could change at any moment.
Yeah, so obviously wishing the best for him. Hopefully everything works out for him because again he was a very exciting talent, and you would have expected him to take bigger leaps in his career, but obviously injuries has been taking over, and now this new neurological thing. Again, we just hope he gets back to his previous form, because yeah. And then that makes a lot of sense then why Bayern Munich was like exploring different options when it came to like attacking midfielders. Then.
Yeah, why Leonard Carl had so much opportunity, and why they were also linked with bringing Florian Wirtz back in the summer. Because you'd be like, you would think, oh, they have Jamal Musiala there and Leonard Carl. Why would they think about getting uh, Florian Wirtz? But apparently, it's because they had this thought or like this worry with Jamal Musiala.
Yeah. So again, we'll see how the season pans out. Did he even play in this upcoming this match against Dortmund? I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I'd assume no, just because they probably wanted to get used to the new medication or something, or there would have been a huge announcement, some regard or something like that. Because yeah, it's kind of scary to have pretty much two faints or whatever you would call it, seizures or whatever. But
No, he didn't.
but
He
yeah,
wasn't even on the bench.
maybe he'll come off.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll be on the bench next week in the season opener.
yeah, they had Elisa at the 10 and then Nathaniel Brown like playing on the wing.
But in lighter news, Man U and Spurs, man. There's a reason we kept you guys off the top four. No, you put them in your top four.
Yeah, yeah. I just
Both teams got broken down. What? Who did Spurs lose to?
Spurs.
Did they? Because I know Man U lost his whole city, a newly promoted side. So I'm wondering, did Man U lose to a promoted side as well? No, not Man U.
For Spurs?
Spurs? No, right?
No, they lost to Brentford,
They lost to Brentford.
3-0.
But with
Um,
all this money invested, and you lose like that? Come on. Which one's more embarrassing? I think probably the whole city, right?
whole city for sure. Cause I was laughing about it, right? And then because there's um a lot of English like media for like football that shouldn't be, but it's bad. But you sort of grow to hate them, so you like want to see how people make fun of them. And there's this group of Man United fans who were deluded. That a couple of them said they're going to finish in first place, second place, and then while they were making fun of them, this one guy said it's crazy to lose to Hull City because they're arguably one of the worst teams to ever get promoted because they were last year predicted to get relegated from the championship and they barely made it into the playoff spot and they were at, like the worst like record for like a promoted side in like defensively because they like conceded 67 goals
Damn.
in the like the
So they just
championship. So
don't
they
have a defense at all.
yeah, so there was like a very bad defensive side and yet they somehow beat Man U 2-0.
With a clean sheet, yeah.
Yeah, so that tells you everything.
Man, and all I hear about is Man U this, Man U that. I guess you're right, Jesse. It's kind of like you said. I think that's what like it comes down to. Man U is a good team. They sign good players and Tillemans and Andre Santos, who again has potential, but he was like not super world class. But yeah, that's all. That's all you could say. They sign good players, but it's not enough to like beat these teams. You know.
Yeah, I mean they have enough. Like these are players that should like have enough talent that should be able to like beat Hull City without worrying about it. But then I think it also doesn't help when your coach is just a vibes guy and doesn't know about tactics. Because like
Is that what is being said about Michael Carrick?
yeah, I mean this is what like the former his former teammates were saying. Like oh we don't want him to be coach or the name like the full time head coach instead of interim head coach. And the fans were like, "No, why are they so against it?" And they were
Who are the
defending him
players?
like crazy. Um, King, Scholes, someone else, because I think the only one that defended him was like
Gary
Phil
Neville.
Neville.
Or Phil Neville, one of those two.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because and it's so abnormal too because you would assume that Man United had such a good second half of the season last year, that momentum would have carried over, but it didn't. You know, it's so weird to lose that first game like that, even though you had such a great finish last season. I don't know because you were one of the few teams that beat Arsenal in the Premier League. You know.
well, yeah, because what Man United fans were using to for the copium was that last in the second half they were the team that had the most points because they had more points than Man City and Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna use that what Carrick can carry on to this season, and they're gonna like carry over, and that's how they're gonna win."
Mm-hmm.
But I think it just shows that Michael Carrick isn't as technically sound as people thought he was. I think he was just the players just had a renaissance because they just had the honeymoon phase with the new coach as they usually do, and they were also fighting for their careers because there was no one else to blame but them.
Yeah, man. You said that some fans are calling back for Amorim.
Yeah, because especially because leading up to this, they got schooled by AC Milan, Amorim's current club, and then they're like, because they were thinking about like who has Michael Carrick made better, who has improved since they've been under Michael Carrick, and like no one really.
Same thing
and
with the
then
back
Almiron.
four. Like they pretty much have the same ones. It's like I think 2001, 2001, 2021.
Yeah, they don't have any. Luke Shaw's been there since like 2013, and he's still their starting left back. Harry Maguire, Mazuari, who we all think is like not up to the level, and then the other one was
Lisandro.
Heaton. No, it was Heaton starting.
Man, I don't know. I just it's weird because Man U doesn't have like that. They're linked to everyone, obviously. Like we make fun of it every time, but like they never bring anyone crazy good. And it's even crazy. What's that one center back they had? Lenny Yoro.
Mhm.
Can he not break into the side, or was he hurt?
I think he's currently injured because I think the second half, or maybe he just didn't make it to this one. I'm not too sure, but I know he was starting second half of last year. But
Man,
yeah, I think he just made the wrong choice of going to Man U because it's just been
well,
no
don't you remember
development.
he kind of got he had no choice.
Yeah, they forced him to go, but he could have held out. But he just finally decided with the amount of money they were offering him. Because remember, it was said that he had a clause in his contract that he could springboard it to go, that he could leave to like Real Madrid because that's who he was linked to.
Now
But
Robert
now
just
it
doesn't
doesn't
want to
look
touch
like
him.
it's gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, it's very interesting how it happens. But yeah, very embarrassing for Man U, and even worse for Tottenham. I think one of the goals that Brentford scored was them running down the middle and just no press, nothing.
yeah, and it's crazy because that's where they had the most heavily investment in with Tonali, Matias Fernandez, and who's the other one? Who's the third?
Um,
They got a third CDM.
I'm trying to find my damn link because I had the.
But it was But Mateus Fernandez didn't start. I know that for sure. Because the midfield was you. I'm gonna tell you, and you can be like, it's so piss poor.
No,
Like creativity wise,
no, I'm
it
looking at
was
it.
Tonali, Bergvall, and then Gallagher at the 10.
And then they still have Richarlison, who was obviously linked to leave, but he decided he didn't leave.
Yep.
Oh my God! James Madison came off the bench. Bentancur, of course. Mateus Fernandez came off the bench. Then Solanke too. Udogi as well. Man, this squad is just I don't know. Well, I was gonna say maybe with the new signings of Salvino and Marmoush will probably help, but they can't seem to be finishing those signings at all. Like I don't know
But then again,
what's holding up.
I think it's a similar to a Man U situation because you just say those players, and you're like, you hear them, you're like, they're good players, but they aren't like world class. They aren't like great.
I think Salvino could be world class. Same thing. I think Marmoush had a really good World Cup as well. But man, I don't know. It's just weird. But I mean, anything is an upgrade to fucking what's his name, Richarlison. You know?
Yeah, and it's crazy because they've been linked to strikers the entire summer and they haven't gotten anyone.
Yeah, it's difficult to
They've
get
been
into that.
they've been linked with Oshiman. They've been linked with Junior Krupi. They were even linked with who's the other one? Um,
Can't.
the Canadian guy.
What's his name? Yeah, AS Monaco. No,
Yeah, yeah.
no, not Balogun. That's what I'm thinking of. Jonathan David.
Oh no. Yeah, that one. Or no, they were even linked with Balogun. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of strikers.
I'm
They've
thinking
been linked with strikers.
how much did they spend on Van Heck?
Uh, a lot. When Vuskovic was, I think just because he's quote unquote Premier League proven Van Heck, because he's a 26-year-old from Netherlands. He was with Brighton. They paid 65 million for him, and then they sold Vukovic to Brighton for 45. And I think Vuskovic, I think he had a better performance this past game for Brighton than Van Heck.
Yeah, they beat Aston Villa 4-0 and very easily. I'm looking at their ratings on FootMob on Van Hex. I mean Vuskovic 7.6. How many touches did he have on the ball though? Top speed of 19 miles per hour, so he's kind of fast. He had 98 touches. He had 103 touches. 98 were accurate.
Yeah, and he's also he's very good physically, and he handles the ball well.
I think he's left-footed as well.
Because I know he's pretty tall as well. Because he's an aerial threat. So it's like
Yeah, 6'4".
why? Yeah. So why would you do this?
No, he's right-footed, but he could play as a left-sided center back. That's a crazy thing. That's so versatile for your team, especially when you have like a Van de Ven who's very injury-prone too.
Yeah, but instead they went with Van Heck because
Oh
he's
man,
Premier League proven, Jerry.
can't.
Because Vuskovic came from the or he was loaned to the Bundesliga, and they said, no, we don't want to risk it.
It's gonna be another long season for Tottenham fans. Maybe they get relegated, end their misery.
Oh man, I don't know. It's funny to think. It's just funny how these. I don't know, man. And
It's,
then they like you look at their forwards, and you're like, it's so sad. Matthias Tell, who has like been a failure for now like a couple years now, who hasn't proven anything. Just former hype. Richarlison, who was like, come on, man. It's 2026. We're talking about Richarlison, really.
instead of letting
And
him
then they,
go, they kind of convinced him to stay. I think.
yeah, because he was linked to like going back to Brazil, and they're
Yes.
like, no, 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 stay one more year. And then they had like a youngster in Mikey Moore who was in the championship last year.
And then even Bergwall too. Like he was very hyped. I remember that that's the signing that Tottenham stole from Barcelona because they offered him more money.
Yeah, well, he's in like similar Julian Alvarez situation because he wanted to leave. He didn't want to be in Spurs anymore, but they said, nah, you're staying.
It is what it is, dude. It is what it is. He has to figure it out. That's why I don't get like he should be very wary of the teams he does select. Same thing I say that to Julian Alvarez. Like if you knew you wanted to go to Barcelona, why do you sign a new deal?
Until 2031. Like, what did you?
Like really? Because they're like, oh, it's because they made a promise, a verbal promise. All right, well, add it to your contract. You know? Because there's teams that have that. Like if certain teams could trigger a special release clause for X amount of money, and then that gets passed through the whole thing, and you don't have to deal with this anymore. But no, don't. No promises, bro. No verbal promises. Put it in the contract. Be smarter. But yeah, I
Similar
say that to all
to
players.
like Nico Gonzalez right now. He's going to Newcastle,
Nico Gonzalez, it's the Juventus guy, right?
Man City, Man City.
Oh yes, it was just funny enough because they just played. No, they didn't play each other, did they? No,
Uh,
Newcastle played Liverpool.
yeah, 2-2.
City won. By the way, Erling Haaland got his hair.
Yeah,
He kept it a secret. That's crazy.
he made a YouTube video out of it.
Yeah, but yeah, they won. I don't know. Did you see City's lineup? It was very interesting.
Yeah, it was. I think it reflected because they didn't play really well because it was Guahi was like in the
He was a
midfield.
midfielder
O'Reilly,
apparently.
O'Reilly was like the 10. He was like the creative force. It was not good.
It was weird. I think it was. Oh yeah, because even by the way, Anderson also got injured, so he had to come off with an injury.
Yeah,
But
I think Man City fans, you got to be prepared for a long year as well because Maresca ball is looking really bad.
he's just experimenting a lot. Because look, he put Guardiola, Ruben Diaz, Guehi, Kuzanov, Rico Lewis, and O'Reilly. You could say O'Reilly and Rico Lewis are like right backs, left backs. Again, they've been playing that for most of their career, professional career at least. And then you put them like in an offensive role, it's like it's not gonna work. Their brains are gonna get messed up. Biggest comparison is Sergio Roberto, great midfielder, got turned into a fullback, then like constantly switching back and forth. Like it just messed up your brain, like in how you play. But yeah, I think there was no fluidity when it came to playing with this starting 11. Our
Yeah,
our
I
boy
think it was
Chetky
just
came on and like just changed the game for them.
yeah, he was really good. It was like he came up and he like just was like, all right, guys, just give me the ball, shut up and just get to your spots and leave me open space.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, he played with Phil Foden, and Guardiola was not one to do that last season. You know, he would never play both of them at the same time.
Yeah, I think Phil Foden's in a situation where he realizes his career's on the line, where it's a major crossroads, and I think he's just trying to put the best foot forward.
And he didn't have a horrible game, so it was pretty decent. But yeah, I think Cherky has to be a starter no matter what. It can't be Nico O'Reilly. If you want to play Nico O'Reilly, play him at left back. He's been doing that for the.
Yeah.
He's been doing that pretty well last season and this a little bit of a year before. But yeah, you can't put Nico O'Reilly in that situation.
I think the only good news for Man City right now is that they finally got the deal done for Boadi, because I think it was officially announced. Also on that, Lille were looking to get Thiago Pitach to be the replacement, which I think we should have done so he could get the most game time and develop, because I think he's gonna be buried in the depth chart right now. But we kept him, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. 'Cause I think he needs game time at this moment.
That's true. Now, after this first full week of like pretty much all the leagues, like Serie A, they play too. League only one missing was Bundesliga. But out of all these teams that played this weekend, who do you think is going to make a panic buy? Based on what they just saw this weekend. My first candidate is going to be Manchester United.
I don't think so, because I don't think they have the funds anymore. Because look at the players that we're going for.
They're going to get Alejandro Balde, and I bet you anything.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do get him, but I don't think it's a panic buy, because they've been trying to get Lewis Hall the entire summer, and Newcastle just told them no. So they've been looking at left back. I know they're also buying Baleva, but they've been trying that going for that spot. I think if anyone, I think it's gonna be Arsenal.
Yeah, they can't seem to get an attacker.
And I think they're just gonna panic buy because they're like the cry out for fans, because they're just gonna be like, we just need a forward, and they're just gonna panic buy someone.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be like the Barcola. They're gonna offer like PSG a bunch of money, and same thing with him, and they're gonna go with him. I don't know how well it'll pan out, especially since like he doesn't have a preseason to go off of. Premier League has so many games. We know how Barcola is, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, because Liverpool have not gotten the Barcola thing done. They've dropped out of.
Which I don't even think they need him.
Well, he's a left winger. They need a right winger.
Yeah.
Because they played Rio on the right wing, and he did not look good. I think he's a natural left winger, and you should just keep him there. I know Cody Gakpo's been linked with the move away. Funny enough, he's been linked with Man City now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know.
It's weird because you just bought Semenyo too, right? I don't think you would need him.
Yeah, and I mean, he plays left wing. That's his best spot, and that you have Doku there. So like,
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Again, it's just being linked. I think, my opinion, I think Gakpo is. You said Gakpo, right? I think he's a really good player. I think Liverpool suits him pretty well. He played this past weekend and he did really well. He scored a goal. But yeah, that's one team we didn't talk about. They tied with Newcastle, which is Newcastle who just got robbed from everyone, and they still managed to get a draw.
Yeah, I think that was a better performance from Newcastle than for Liverpool. I think Liverpool is growing pains again. The midfield didn't look great, but I think Iraola is just trying to do the best with what he's got and implement his style. I do gotta say the center backs looked better, especially Jeremy Jacquet. Looked like he belonged, so that's always good to say when your big summer sign. I guess January signing like shows up, especially after a major injury.
Same thing, my boy Ronald Araujo. He looked decent. You know, I know that league's gonna suit him. I think he's gonna do well. But
well, obviously, Jerry, it's just a physical league. You don't have to think.
Nah, he don't. He doesn't have to pass the ball. He just has to bang it up. But yeah, Liverpool could have. I know you could have asked for more. They got luck. They didn't get lucky with the last-minute penalty because it was a penalty. By the way, by the left winger they just signed in Victor Munoz. So why are you gonna get another one? So, but
he can play both wings.
Yeah, he can.
But, yeah.
But I think the left wing suits him so well.
Yeah, I think it was just a great showing from the former Real Madrid boys.
Yeah, but the current ones are not so much.
Yeah, because speaking of them, because when Fulham Chelsea game, it was a basically former Real Madrid match, and both coaches, and then with Cesar Palacios and Gonzalo Garcia.
And there's a cicada in my somewhere here. Oh, it's here. It's right there on my screen door. Like, get away. Yeah, it was funny because it was pretty much both Real Madrid coaches from last season. And the superior one won, and Xabi Alonso. Thank you again, Real Madrid, for firing him. I appreciate it.
Funny enough, a couple Man U fans use this as another reason why they were upset that Almiron got upset because that's his formation at 3-4-3, and Xabi Alonso had it implemented, and they're like, see, this could have been us, but we got stuck with Michael Carrick.
That's how it happens, dude. You gotta invest in good coaching.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a good showing from both teams. I think both are just implementing their styles and getting used to it. With Chelsea, Xabi Alonso is obviously trying to bring the best out of Cole Palmer, which he did look like he was getting the best out of him, but he just had to sub him out because it is the first game, and they just, like we said, they're getting used to the fitness.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it was a pretty good showing. I like how Chelsea played. They played very direct. A lot of passing, a lot of combinations, and most importantly, a lot of wing play, which I think that's obviously the biggest depth they've ever had, and they took advantage of it. I like Morgan Rogers how he played. I think he stood
Yeah.
out to me, and even Joao Pedro. I think he's taking another step.
Yeah, I think Joao Pedro is making Ancelotti look like an idiot by not taking him to the World Cup because he this preseason and today again he was outstanding and I was saying it. Why didn't he take him?
Barca tried to get him too, dude. They could have pressured him more, but it's hard to compete against Premier League money. They offered him, I think, more money. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy because instead they took Igor Thiago instead of this guy going crazy.
who, by the way, missed the penalty.
Yeah, insane.
Insane. But is there anything else?
Uh, Gonzalo Garcia looked like he was the best Fulham player there. He was really good.
Very good player. I always said it. He's a very like natural nine. Well, I want. No, he is a natural nine, but he could also play in the wings, which is pretty interesting. Very dynamic,
Yeah,
and I always liked him. So I'm glad he left Real Madrid.
yeah, he was pressuring, he was recovering the ball. He was very dangerous when he in the situation. Cesar Palacios had a milder showing, but he showed that he had good creativity because he was his passing looked good. Um, Enzo Fernandez, whenever he when he got subbed on and he had the ball, Chelsea fans and Fulham fans like they just joined hands and just booed the shit out of him.
Winning that England game was probably the worst thing Enzo Fernandez did. No wonder he was trying to leave.
Well, he was trying to leave before that.
Man, is what it is. He's gonna have to deal with it. I'm sure England fans will get over it eventually. Eventually, not this season.
Yeah,
Eventually,
yeah, because yeah, he's gonna get that David Beckham treatment.
definitely is. But yeah, there's matches midweek and in the weekend. I think we could do predictions.
Oh, before that,
Oh,
we gotta talk about what a bad or shitty person Kyle Walker is.
all right. Um, what was it? A documentary?
Yeah, because I think is it the Hulu one where because they follow usually teams because there's like the a couple ones where they've had where like Spurs,
No, it's the
Arsenal.
Amazon one, All Access or
Oh
something
no,
like
that
that.
one, that one, that one. Amazon. I confused it. Yeah, because that's where we first saw Mikel Arteta's speeches, and we're
Yeah, it worked, dude. It worked last season.
yeah, and now we had Man Cities, and we understand why it didn't work out last year.
Yeah, there was a lot of when your captain refuses to be used as an example and starts arguing with the coach in the middle of a speech. That's when you know the locker room is torn.
Yeah, it's so disappointing because Kyle Walker is a veteran at that point. He's like 30 something years old, has been in that locker room for, I don't know, almost a decade. And he has entrusted you with so much. And yet you're over here talking like that during his speech and like basically neglecting the entire point of what he's trying to prove just by because he didn't want to get picked on. Like, seriously, he was just using you for an example and you're over here complaining as if he's like calling you out. It's just such bad leadership and bad
Like, dude,
professionalism from.
like your career is already made, dude. Like, you're fine. You're 30 plus years old. You've won everything with this club. Be used an example. Don't let him use fucking. Who do you want him to use? Nico O'Reilly as an example? When he's just getting his career started, when he wants to like destroy his confidence. Well, I guess maybe just don't use Kyle Walker because maybe his confidence has gone to shit. What did he say?
Yeah, he's like, I can't remember. It was like, why are you always picking on me from Kalaka? It's just like Seriously?
And Pep literally said, like, I'm just using you as an example because you're a captain. You're the team captain. You want me to use Ruben Diaz instead of another team captain as an example? I'll use that. But I'm just saying a name to make a point. But, man, my boy was going through
And,
it.
yeah, and to make matters worse, you could tell it was a very emotional time for him because it's Tormo and him, like when he was giving a speech, because he's on the verge of tears talking about like his divorce,
Like, bro.
bringing it up, and they still did this to him. It's like, yeah, no wonder he needed to take a break. Because what did he say? I just got divorced from the most beautiful woman in your planet, and he's over here having to deal with this bullshit.
Like, bro, we got a game to focus on. Lock in. You need to be subbed off.
Yeah,
And yeah,
man.
that's why that random transfer happened too when he left Man City. Then
Yeah, to Burnley. It makes sense why he sent him out.
yeah, he's like, yeah, this guy, go deal with your divorce somewhere else. But yeah, let's get into predictions. First one, we'll start off in La Liga. Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad. Big one in the Bernabeu on Wednesday, 2 p.m. What do you got? And the
Real Madrid.
scoreline.
Real Madrid. 3 3-1.
I got a tie, 2-2. Next, we have, we'll do it for the Lols. Tottenham versus Charlton in the EFL Cup. Give me Charlton. We're
Gotta be
aiming low.
Spurs, right? It's gotta be
We're
Spurs.
aiming low. You got Spurs?
I got Spurs. Give me the the over on Spurs.
We have Thursday, Barcelona versus Athletic Club. This is the first game in Barcelona's home opener. Give me Barcelona 4-0.
Yeah, give me Athletic Club 2-1.
You know what? Give me Barcelona 6-0. I'll say it right now. They have a new coach. Signings, we know they're just getting more academy kids that have no experience. And then Nico Williams and then Iñaki Williams, who are still playing there. Again, we'll stick with the EFL Cup and Chelsea and Luton because we're both huge Chelsea fans this season. What do you have?
Chelsea, obviously.
Chelsea, they're probably using their C squad.
Yeah, dude. Chelsea are gonna be Premier League champions this year, and you can bet on it.
That is true. I wonder what the line is at. It has to be pretty good. Friday, we have Premier League Crystal Palace versus Man City. That's a pretty good match. They're playing at Crystal Palace, Jesse.
I got Man City. I think Crystal Palace is. I just don't see the same team as a couple years ago. I think they've been decimated, and I don't think recruitment's been there, especially with the coach leaving as well.
They managed to keep what's it called, Munoz, the right back. Let's see if he has any movement this week, because that being in the final week of the transfer window for them. Let's see if they can retain him. But yeah, I'm taking Man City. I like what they did. They came back from being down 1-0. I think that brings a team together.
Also, there is Bayern and versus Stuttgart that same day.
Oh, who am I gonna pick? Probably Bayern Munich, the eventual champions.
Give me Stuttgart.
You gotta be different, dude.
I'm different.
Saturday, Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest.
I have Liverpool. I have Nottingham Forest going down.
Do you? Okay. I'll go with Liverpool too. I think first home game will be pretty good. I think they had a very tough first game versus Newcastle away too, so I think they should manage this game. You know, just pump up the speakers, dude. Make it a little bit extra louder. Any other game you see in the Premier League?
Spurs Newcastle, the Nolly Derby.
Give me Newcastle.
I'll go Spurs. I'll go Spurs.
Remember, Spurs had the worst home record last season, so let's see if it changes this season. But yeah, I'll take Newcastle.
Exactly. I'm hoping for the over. I'm hoping for the over.
Sevilla versus Atletico Madrid. Julian Alvarez, who was booed by the home crowd. What do you got?
Give me Sevilla.
Interesting. They did win this past weekend against Athletic Club. Berchiche got a red card, by the way. Ure Fernandez. I'm trying to see if I recognize any of these players from Sevilla. I know Guridi. Then I don't know anyone else, so they had a complete overhaul. You
You'll
know,
know one after this.
I'll take Sevilla too, just because of the hate of Athletic Madrid I have at the moment.
Sunday Chelsea Brighton.
Oof. Nah, I'll take Chelsea. There's no oof.
Oh, yeah, Chelsea. I was about to say, Jerry.
I forgot. This is not last season's Chelsea. This is this season's.
Or I got a heavy hitter, Jerry. Man U versus Ipswich.
I'm gonna go with a tie. I think Man U's gonna be. It's gonna be one of those seasons with Man U that they struggle against like lower sides and they compete very well against like the bigger sides. So I'm gonna go a tie.
I got Ipswich.
Damn. Okay.
I'm having Man U going on a full panic by this week.
I like it. Real Madrid versus Malaga, newly promoted Malaga.
Yeah, this is gonna be a homecoming for Howson because that's where he was in the youth teams before he went to Juventus, and great showing for Real Madrid. Then it's gonna be a Real Madrid win.
Yeah, I think Real Madrid wins this one. Malaga's gonna not have too much to compete with. We already know La Liga doesn't really give a lot of money to the two clubs, so Malaga's gonna struggle. Napoli Como.
Yep.
Give me
Como.
Como. Napoli had actually a good showing this past week, and they won their match pretty. I wouldn't say easily. It was a tough away game, but Kevin De Bruyne showed up and did his thing.
Yeah.
Then Como tied against
But
Udinese.
yeah, but they have Allegri ball, so that cancels anything you just said.
Well, they're playing at home, so maybe he'll go for the win.
No.
Uh,
Monday.
Monday is Barcelona versus Rayo Vallecano. Give me Barcelona 7-0.
Yeah, give me a draw.
Why?
Because Rayo Vallecano lost their best player to Izzy, so that's why it's only a draw.
Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Aston Villa, we just got thrashed.
You mean the Axis Powers? That's the new nickname they got going for them?
Why is it the Axis powers?
Frughetti, Italy. Suzuki, Japan. Goretzka, Germany.
That's wild. Okay. They also have Joao Gomez, who's suspended for this game due to having a red card in the first game.
I can't believe you haven't seen the memes about it.
Tammy Abraham injured. Leon Bailey injured. Omadou Onana, we know he's injured until next year. Yeah, not a great start for Aston Villa, and I don't think they reinforced themselves too well. Give me a draw.
Same. I was about to go say the draw.
Give me a draw. By the way, I don't think we mentioned it, but Bruno Guimaraes is injured. He's out for a couple of weeks, probably months.
Oh, what is Arsenal going to do without one of their CDMs? It's a shame. It's not like they have like 6 on the bench.
Now they're gonna be forced to play an attacker. Oh, what a shame. After that, what do we have for lined up for the week after? Okay, it's Thursday. No, it's back to normal. Then Real Madrid plays on September 4th. They play on Friday at 2 p.m. Interesting. Man, football's back. And then on September 6th, what time does Barcelona play? Yes, 9:15 in the morning, so I don't have to worry about it during our draft.
But it's going to be Juventus versus Milan at 1:45.
It is, but we know Milan's going to win because you know Amorim's a really good coach. It's also Arsenal versus Chelsea at 10:30.
Yeah, that's a whitewash. I have Chelsea.
Me too. But
That's why I didn't pick them.
those were our predictions. Oh man. Make a parlay with that, you'll win hella money. Just follow mine, not Jesse's.
Yeah, I'm starting to collect fees on mine because they're going to be correct this year. I've talked with God and we've made a deal.
Dang.
I suffered last year. I let Arsenal win the Premier League, so he has to repay me for that. Going through the emotional stress that I've gone through and suffering.
You know what that? Do you know what that reward's gonna be, Jesse?
What?
That one Mickey Mouse trophy Real Madrid won in preseason. That's your trophy.
What was it called? The President's Cup?
I have no idea. Dude, you guys are
It's
trying
like
to start
the
your own Juan Camper.
no, it's been there. Cause I saw the stat. Cause Jose Mourinho's dad also won that trophy. Because he was also a coach. So it's been that. It's been his thing.
Interesting. But with that being said, this has been our episode number 126. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let us know what you guys want to see next episode.
Next season.
I gotta pick a better thumbnail because this